Hi again, everyone. I'm Ollie Matthews. This is Societal Narcissism. This video is sponsored by contribution from Clever Fish. Clever Fish gave a general contribution, which I will use for this video. Before I get to the content, please go to the description box, click the Rumble link. I ask everybody to watch over there as I'm still monetized, and it'll help out with the channel. On to the content. This video was made aware of, so I'm going to use general contribution on this. I did a video on this woman about 2.5 years ago. Another estranged parent. I guess she just posted this one recently. The reason I'm an estranged parent. I've watched none of this. 33,000 views. 20,000.4 subscribers. And you wonder why I get bitter. And people wonder why I get bitter, and I keep talking about like what goes on YouTube, but that's neither here nor there. I am just beside myself at this point. I'm just tired of it, to be quite honest. But let's just get into the content. Enough about me. All right, everybody, here we go. And I got this sped up to 125.
Hi everyone, welcome to my next video. I've been thinking about this one for quite a while because I've done already.
And before I even hear a word she says, let me just put the capper on this. You're the reason you're an estranged parent, okay? You're the reason why your children don't talk to you. So before, I haven't even watched a sec other than these 9 seconds just now. I haven't watched any of this video. I saw who she was. I knew I could probably make content out of it. So here we go.
3 or 4 videos regarding being an estranged parent of an adult child. And since then, I've been not only watching other videos, but reading from many of your wonderful comments that many estranged parents are understandably not only shocked, but devastated. But there's another aspect to it that I'd like to address in this video, and that is many of the estranged parents have no idea why.
Oh, bullshit. Oh, bullshit. You all know why. You all know why. The whole purpose of your channels and you doing this is so you don't have to accept responsibility. Go out there, look for pity supply, look for other abusers so you can prop each other up. That's why you're estranged. That's why you went no contact. You know exactly why your children don't talk to you. You just don't want to admit to the reality.
For myself, I do know why. And it may or may not be applicable to you, but I'm going to create this video for...
Let me guess. It's their fault. You love them too much. Well, I'm sure.
Food for thought. And just present, as I always do, my own experience in hopes that maybe it might give you some possibilities in your own situation. Now, I'm trying to keep this under 20 minutes, of course, and I won't go into detail. Of course, I can't. The many years I raised my daughter and how I did the best I could. And no,
I did the best I could. Here we go. There's just click them off. Just play estranged parent. Just play estranged parent bingo. Just click it off. I'm sure we'll hear there was no book either somewhere.
Not faultless. I ended up leaving her father when she was only 14 rather. She did not want to come with me. She wanted to stay with her dad. And
wonder why.
It broke my heart. I respected her decision, and I let her stay with her dad. Well, not
so. Why did she want to stay with her dad? Why would a 15-year-old girl want to stay with her dad, and you're the one leaving the marriage? Yada yada. We gonna hear about any of that? Let's see.
6 months later, she changed her mind, and I was ecstatic. Yet her father refused to let her come live with me. And so what ensued was a very nasty court battle, which I won. And I won primary custody. We both still had joint custody, but I won primary custody. And my daughter came to live with me. Now, these are the teenage years, so I do...
And then she ended up going no contact with you. So, again... Who knows what, 14, 15-year-olds, they get mad. They like, how do I get out? How do I, get back at the parent? And there's a good way.
I remember mine quite well. And however, I was not good in school at all, yet my daughter excelled, and she had a lot of friends. She seemed to almost not even put much effort into studying, very much like her father. Straight A student. Now, when she was almost 18, I decided that I did not want to keep the home that we were living in. I had gotten married again. She very much liked my new husband. However, she was never witness to any of his abuse towards me. He very carefully kept that apart from her whenever she was home. So she only saw the good side.
So she keeps just choosing shitty men. Why did she leave the first marriage for the second marriage? I mean, what was the deal with the first marriage?
So when I decided to divorce him, only a year later, I'm sure she was very confused. Did not want to talk about it, did not want to hear any explanations, and not want
Possibly because she's now seeing a pattern within you. Perhaps she's seeing now a pattern within your behavior here. That you're the problem in these marriages, you're the problem in the family. Nah, I just keep ending up with these abusive men.
Wanting to upset her further, I did not force her to hear my side of it, thinking maybe one day she'd want to hear more as she grew older. Now I did leave and sell that house. She found her own apartment at age 18, and I lived about an hour away. Cheaper, more affordable for me. And she told me that she was fine with having her own apartment. Well, I can honestly say
at 18, you moved an hour away from your daughter and just, oh, she told me she was fine. Yeah, at 18, I get it. She's an adult at that age. But even still at 18, your brain isn't fully formed. Did you try to talk her out of it? Of course not, because once again, you're probably looking about, oh, this is about my happiness and my life. You just were looking to dump her off at that point. Weird at 18. What aren't you getting anymore at 18? Oh, child support. Well, now you're not getting child support anymore. Now you'll go let her go live wherever she wants. You fought so hard to have her for what, 3 years? Now the husband's not around to help take off who she liked, to help take off, the burden from you. You're not getting child support anymore. Yeah, go have your own apartment. I can't figure out why this girl don't have anything to do with you anymore.
That was the turning point where things started to go downhill very suddenly.
Because she realized she was nothing more than a pawn for you. That was it. She was nothing more than a pawn.
Lack of respect for me, which I attributed to her age.
What did you do to earn her respect? What did you do to deserve her respect? You've now left her father and her stepfather want to move move an hour away from her. I wonder if you were still getting child support if you would have let her go get her own apartment. Something tells me no.
Started college, did very, very well in college. Again, straight A's, received her degree within 3 years, and had a wonderful, wonderful career. Beginning of a career started.
Who paid for college?
And I was absolutely thrilled with her. And again, saw the similarities between her dad being a very successful college graduate and in his career. So she very much took after her dad. And
you resented her for it.
Very, very proud of her. Yet the distance between us began to grow, where I noticed her emotional distance from me in terms of not really wanting to have in-depth conversations or listen to any of my questions or explanations for why I was trying to either comfort her or address past issues. And
what past issues? So you gonna glaze over your past issues? What were the past issues?
it was then that she began to really distance herself from me in terms of, I don't want to talk about it now. I don't want to hear about it.
Right, because at this point, she's old enough to figure out you're completely full of shit. She don't want to hear your story. She don't want to hear you gaslighting. She don't want to deal with you making it all about yourself, which you clearly do, how you live for yourself.
Never mind, I'm busy. And so I just let it go. Well, eventually, she became engaged, and her future husband, very nice guy, very subservient to her, very passive. And I noticed that
There it is, just subservient to her, very passive, throwing the shots in, throwing in the veiled insults.
She became rather dominant over him. Yet, that's not my place to interfere or make any judgments or any comments.
Sure, it's not.
They did get married, and I was treated very badly at the wedding. And some of the guests didn't even know I was her mother, and was surprised when I did the mother of the bride walk in the reception. After the wedding, she completely ignored me and ignored me at the reception. And it was then that I realized that my daughter no longer valued me for any reason whatsoever. And not wanting...
Because she realized you were a pawn. I'm surprised she even let you come to the wedding, to be honest with you.
To cause waves or seem confrontational, I put on my best face and tried not to cry through that wedding and through the reception.
So now, and this is why you leave them out. Because now she has made her daughter's wedding about her and the way she's been treated. Because that's what the borderline does. She makes everything about herself. And the daughter finally got to an age where she realized this woman just makes everything about herself. She doesn't care about me. She fought so hard to have me, at 15 for 3 years. And as soon as that child support ran out, gone. Oh yeah, go do it. Go do your thing. And that's, you know what? That's probably the greatest favor you did for her. Moving an hour away, and she the kind of went low contact yourself. And then that cloud of narcissism lifts. Here comes the clarity. And she got it, and she had her epiphany. And she said, holy shit. She's the issue. It's her.
Now, I left out an important part. I had injured my back and had trouble with intense pain. And
again, making it about herself. Again, like how many boxes are you going to check?
I told her this, and her response was, well, Ma, you've got to walk down the aisle. Just suck it up and do it. No concern for me.
Oh, you were forced to. Oh, your daughter forced you to walk down the. I got you now. I got you. You forced. Do you see why you don't invite them? Do you see why once you see the red flags and once you've established it, you cut off contact? Because now she's turned her daughter's wedding into about her and her treatment and how she was abused. The borderline will ruin your day without fail.
Me whatsoever. And that's what I did. I did it for my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And
what a martyr.
Her style, the way she wanted it, even though I didn't like it.
It's her wedding. It's her wedding. Is there anything you won't make yourself a martyr over?
Anything for her, to please her, hoping that we would still...
That's what you're supposed to do at your daughter's wedding. It's her wedding.
Find a way to become close again. If we were ever really close, and I started to question that, because I never was really close with her dad. His personality was very closed off emotionally.
You were never close with her father, yet you married him? Who's watching this one? Like, again, who's listening to this and not seeing right through that you're the problem? Well, 33,000 people, 2,800 likes on 242 dislikes. Ugh. This is what we're up against.
and I noticed she was that way too. Yet, I accepted her for the way she was, and I did the best I could. So now, fast forward, I am now a grandmother, and I go to see my new granddaughter, rather. And I bought her a stuffed pony, and it was pretty large. It was actually a rocking horse where she could probably ride it when she was 2. But I just love the idea of giving her a horse because I loved horses. And when I brought it in the house, I will never forget my daughter's expression. She looked at it like, "Well, what am I supposed to do with this?" And it was of disgust that I would even buy something like that. And just wanted to cry, but I smiled and I said, "That's okay, honey. You know, if you don't have room in your house, you can just store it in your basement." And I believe that's what she did. She did bring it out for the baby shower, but again, it just seemed like whatever.
So you bought her something for your granddaughter, which you're basically saying you knew didn't fit in her house. You bought her something you knew she couldn't use. Passive aggressive to the core, huh?
I did just wasn't good enough. And I'm not here to find fault with her. I'm here to explain.
Oh, you're not? She's not here to find fault. I'm just here to, to talk shit on her for 20,000 people. That's it. Not to find fault.
How I believe I know why I'm now estranged. And it accumulated in the little things. For instance, once I was sitting in her living room, and she was going to have someone come to build a back deck. Their house was brand new. And as the man approached the front door, my daughter called to me for me to stay in the living room. And that
Right, because she didn't want you getting involved. If she's probably talking money or she don't want you involved in her business. So I'm suspecting you have a real problem with overreaching your boundaries.
remain there while they had the conversation with this contractor. And I knew why she said that. She said that because for some reason, something about me was embarrassing. And she did not want me to be included in the conversation. So
why would you be included in a conversation about a deck she's paying for and building off the back of her house? Why would you think you need to be a part of that conversation? So obviously you make yourself a part, you insert yourself into her business at will, to the point where she told you, stay in here, stay out of it. So you can nitpick and make passive aggressive comments about their choices or what they want or how much money they're spending. It's none of your business.
I sat in the living room trying not to cry.
What is it with you? Everything makes you cry. Everything makes you cry. How awesome.
Now, I'll tell you what it is that I believe she ultimately decided to estrange me without any word of explanation. And that is because she did not deem me important enough to be in her life anymore. And rather than just flat out tell me.
I already got your tell when you lie. I got your tell when you lie. You do this. You act like you're shaking the hair out of your head. It is such a tell. Okay, this is bullshit. This is the excuse she came up with of how she's going to explain. What it doesn't even make sense. Like, it's so vague. It's so vague, it's meaningless.
It came out in all these subtle, and I don't even know if this is covert narcissism. I don't know what you would call it, but just very, very dismissive type behaviors, absolutely absent of any empathy for me.
Empathy for what? Empathy for what? Just constantly has to coddle and baby you?
I just endured it because actually that's how I grew up, and that's how I endured my marriage to her father, by being constantly criticized, either openly or subtly. And I continue.
There's the shake again. There's the head shake again. Every time she lies or lies coming up, she acts like she's throwing her hair out of her face. Every time. I got you.
Best. But I started finding myself breaking down in tears
of course
upon returning to my own home after a visit to her house. And I never wanted to tell her that I was upset because I was afraid of upsetting her. Yet I would always ask, honey, what's wrong? Why do you, why are you not willing to have an honest conversation?
You see how she can't keep. Her hair's not in her face. Her hair hasn't moved. It hasn't gone over her eyes. Yet she keeps doing this.
Or hear even what happened to me when I had my back surgery. And she never wanted to talk about anything. I was always dismissed as, never mind, I don't want to get into it. Or she'd give a big sigh
All
as
lies.
if I annoyed her
All
again.
this is all BS. It's all bullshit.
And she would say, Ma, I just don't want to deal with it. I don't have time for this.
Right, because you're insufferable. I don't want to deal with you. I don't want to deal with your borderline breakdowns. I don't want to deal with your borderline spiral.
I've probably left out a lot of
Oh, you think?
very dismissive behaviors from her. And it became even more apparent as she became more successful in her job. And ultimately, her marriage failed. But by then, we were estranged. And I surmise it failed because she probably treated him the same way. Yet, I will never know for sure. So that's
You have no idea. You have no idea why she got divorced. Yet you're gonna sit here and you're gonna talk shit.
it's just a guess. Now, many estranged parents, as I've come to realize from reading online and watching videos, is that many estranged moms or dads don't know why they're estranged. But here's what
They're
I
just
believe.
lying about
I
it.
believe that my daughter has deemed me no longer valuable to be in her life. And rather than just take the responsibility to tell me that, she has done so in numerous subtle ways.
That is 100% projection. The one who didn't deem the other one valuable enough to be in their lives was you to her. Because once that child support, once she emancipated, it's okay, I'm moving an hour away, you can go get your own apartment. Total projection. She's talking about herself now.
Over the last few years that I had a relationship with her. And I was pushed away little by little with subtle digs and insults.
There's no hair in her face. This would be so easy if I was interrogated. This is so easy because every time you got to start pulling the thread. Every time she shakes her head, whatever, you got to pull that thread and watch it unravel.
In a way that relieved her of any responsibility, but kind of gaslighted me into thinking that she didn't even owe me an explanation. And
because you already know
how
why.
I resolved this and how I reconciled it. And I believe I did another video about this also. And here's how I really take control of my life, because I realize that it is what it is. And my daughter is not a person to control, a person to dictate to, or a person who should be anything at all like me. She is her own self, she has her own life, and she is certainly entitled to her own decisions.
Not a person to control or dictate to or tell about their own life. Yet, that's exactly what you were doing. That's why she told you to stay in the living room when the contractor came over, because you forced yourself into her life, into her business, stepping over every boundary she's ever tried to lay out in front of you.
However, this whole business of being estranged without an honest conversation is a bunch of bullshit.
No, it's not. Because she knows, because she knows that you want her to, as long as she's talking, you could be reeling her in. You could be working her. As long as you're talking to them, they still think they have a chance. This is what happens when you cut them off completely. They go sit out in the woods and make it about themselves. And they would have been making it about themselves whether you were there or not.
And I know now I will never receive an honest conversation with her. Why? Because she's too fearful to be honest with me. Because she doesn't have the courage to say, Ma, you embarrass me in front of people. I don't like how you do this or do that.
So, what do you need to have the conversation about if you already know what you do? What's the conversation for other than to gaslight her? Other than to hoover her back in to your bullshit and so you can make her run your life, take care of your every want and need. So if you already know. So what's the conversation for? How instead, so what have you tried? Apologizing for all this behavior. I'm going to change it. This is what I did. I was selfish. I was narcissistic. I made all your important dates about yourself, about myself. The second the child support was ending, I decided I didn't want to be in this marriage. I'm moving away and you can go get your own apartment. What's the conversation for?
I don't admire you. I don't like how you did this or did that, whatever it
What's to admire? What's to admire?
is. And rather than discuss it or try to understand, I'm just going to consider you not even worthwhile talking to anymore.
Because you're not.
And one of the last things that really cut deep, to 14 minutes, one of the last things that really cut deep was when she had my first granddaughter. I believe I have 2 now. And at the time, I had owned horses. I had a few acres.
I've said this about people who own horse people. Some of the most selfish, narcissistic people you're ever going to meet. It's like small dogs. Like I see somebody with a horse person, and I like horses, but horse people, ugh, red flag.
And kept them at home. And I had offered, really. I live nearby, and I said, hey, while you're at work, you don't have to pay a babysitter. I'll come pick her up, and I'll take care of her. No charge, no fee. And when she's old enough, I'd love to buy her a pony. Well, the look of horror on her face. I can't even explain the shock.
Smartest move she ever made. Smartest move she ever made. Now you think about how bad this woman must be for her daughter to turn down free childcare because she knows you'd have done the same thing to her daughter that you did to her. Probably worse, because you probably would have ended up turning her daughter against her. How? By buying her a pony. Horses are expensive. Maintaining horses is expensive. Yet at 18 years old, you let your daughter go out on her own and live by herself. So you could leave your second husband and go move an hour away.
She looked at me and she said, absolutely not. I'm not going to have you care for my daughter. I don't want you to buy her a pony.
Exactly.
And she's going to go to daycare, just like I did. And I think I even asked her why. But the look of horror on her face was, you are never going to care for my granddaughter, for your granddaughter.
Mm-hmm.
You are never going to have her at your house.
Mm-hmm.
And that was that.
Smart.
So I was
Smart.
utterly not only shocked with her dismissive admonition. Is that admonishing me? Because isn't that normal to want to have your grandkids over at your own house?
Yeah, it is. But when you're a borderline mother who's used her own daughter as a pawn her entire life, you don't want that. And it's smart of her to have not to have wanted it.
And even care for them free of charge so that she wouldn't have to pay for daycare. And what's so wrong with wanting to buy her a pony? And I even said if she didn't want the pony, that's okay. But she might like to have a pony. Who knows? Nope. She didn't want me to do that.
I'm going to buy her own pony. Uh-huh. That wouldn't give you any leverage over her mother and father, right? Nah.
So it was a combination of dismissing me throughout the years without any explanation or without any willingness to have an honest conversation that ultimately ended in my banishment from being in her life. So what I'm trying to explain is that for
There's no such thing as an honest conversation with a borderline. There's no such thing as an honest conversation with an estranged parent. None. It's just an exercise in gaslighting and hoovering.
any estranged parent who has not received any explanation and has been eliminated from your adult child's life,
They all know why.
including your own grandchildren, I believe that the reason is there, and the reason is that they just don't want us anymore. Whether it's encouraged by the internet, by therapists, and perhaps we're being viewed as toxic, which is
perhaps maybe you are toxic. Maybe you are toxic. Why do you embarrass her? Why? No, this was just out of the blue, right?
Therapists would use, because what is toxic anyway? Toxic means that we are a threat to them in some way.
Yep.
And that's interesting, because maybe I was being a threat by being too authentic and too real, too genuine.
I loved you too much. I was just too genuine and too real. I just loved her too much. Like, do you narcissists have any original thought whatsoever? None. You are all so basic.
And she didn't want that. She didn't want to explain anything or understand my feelings.
She didn't need to. You know why. You said it yourself. You know why.
Or respect me at the wedding, or include me in my own grandchild's life. It's much easier to just throw me away like trash and call me toxic.
Well, when you're trash, you're
I'm
trash.
almost out of time, but I want to wrap this up and end this with how I've reconciled all this. And it's very cathartic to be writing my next book, Caught in the Middle, because many
you're writing books about it, huh?
Of my relatives estranged themselves from each other. Reason being hate, resentment, ignorance, and lack.
Or it's the narcissistic borderline cycle repeating itself over and over and over again. Your daughter is just breaking the cycle. A cycle you are more than happy to live in and contribute to.
Lack of willingness to have an honest conversation. Now, I find the same attributes from my own daughter. Not all of them, because I don't think she hates me, but I think she resents my authenticity. I threaten her.
I'm so wonderful. She can't help herself. I'm so wonderful she has to go no contact and just cut me off and can't have me around. This is the delusion of grandeur of these people. This is why you don't talk to them. This is why there is no such thing as an honest conversation with an estranged parent. There just isn't.
Present belief in herself as being faultless, because none of us are faultless. And for her to admit that she's treated me badly is not in her agenda. Although I am more than willing to admit all of my many faults.
What are they?
So again, before I lose track of how I want to close this, I do know why I'm estranged. And believe it or not, it's okay with me. Because other people can think whatever they want.
You just came up with an excuse so you can look at yourself. That's all. So you can explain it to other people why your daughter has nothing to do with you and why she won't let you have any access to your grandchildren. And rightfully so.
I know who I am. I know how I raised her. I know what I did. And I know how I was treated. And it doesn't matter what other people think, including her. And it doesn't matter what she tells other people, because there is a higher being who sees all, who knows all. And I will not allow myself to be resentful, to be
Oh,
angry,
you don't seem resentful at all.
to feel deflated, or to feel abused. What I have done is taken control of my life and accepted her decision to estrange me. I do not want to ever become involved in her life again, because I have.
But you'll come on YouTube and you'll talk about it, and you'll write another book, a second book or a third, however many you got about it. Right.
Learned very well in the past that this type of behavior is a personality that will never change, and I will never ever subject
More
myself to
projection.
that again.
More
Will my
projection.
grandchildren ever look for me when they're older? I have reservations about that. I have reservations about my safety. Why? Because look at all the tragedies that occur within families due to misunderstandings and loss of life due to anger and rage. I think
She won't come near you. She won't talk to you. So how's your life in danger? How is your safety in danger? Again, this is the thought pattern of the borderline. Make you try to defend things that didn't happen and no intention of happening.
I'm better off being permanently estranged. And I like that.
So is she.
Because
Oh, you like it? You like it so much. You keep making videos about it. You're writing a book about it. Right.
happiness and a peace on my own, and I do not ever want that threatened. So in a way it's sad, but in a way it's not, because you can empower yourself if you're an estranged parent. Like a book, put a bookmarker in the chapter.
Yeah, you start believing your own bullshit, but she doesn't, because she knows she's lying here. I got her tell.
Turn the page. It is what it is. Let it go. Believe what you choose to believe, and embrace your life. Find happiness, find peace, find humor, find good people to be around, because you certainly deserve it. So I hope this helped some of you estranged parents. I didn't think I'd be doing any more videos on this, but I really don't need any sympathy or anyone to feel sorry for me, because
Right.
I was one heck of a good mother.
Oh, right.
And,
Sounds that
we all
way.
make mistakes. I divorced her father, and I divorced the second man. And sure, I did a few things that probably upset her, in terms of there was an award ceremony at high school that I was unable to attend that I'm sure hurt her feelings. And I did apologize for not being able to do that later. But it just seemed like everything...
Why? Why couldn't you attend? You didn't want to see her get honored? Like what? What was it? Like she's just giving you these vague excuses. None of it's her fault, though. Or that was so long ago, you should probably be over it, right?
Or any little thing I did wrong was blown out of proportion. And gosh, don't we need to learn how to forgive each other? I mean, she even kept notes on things I'd said 10 years ago that she was still upset about. Who does that? I don't even remember.
Somebody who's been abused and doesn't want to forget and is trying to get their life in order. That's who does that. Someone who has to deal with someone who knows they're going to be gaslighted by them. That's who does that. Someone who can lie so easily and turn the situation around like that is who does that. Wow, are you telling me? You are telling me everything and saying nothing.
What I said a week ago. And she, one of the last things she did was she emailed me all these little slips of paper with these things that I had said that weren't even bad, but she had misinterpreted them.
Yep, there it is. She they weren't even bad. She just misinterpreted. Like, do you have one thought? Do you have one excuse that hasn't been used by every other narcissist that's been gone no contact with? Do you have one? No.
When I offered to explain why I had said what I had said, she declined that too.
Right, because she didn't want to be gaslighted anymore. This is why. I know why you did it. I don't want to hear your bullshit gaslighting and go back and forth, and then you start crying and please. I'm so abused, and the first husband and the second husband and you, and everybody like, that's what she don't want to deal with. You're lucky she sent you the slips of paper.
Well, this is my attempt for any of you to just know that you don't deserve any more trauma in your life. Please know that your adult children have made their choice, and it's for them to figure out, because I honestly don't see them as happy, stable, or well-grounded individuals that can honestly just throw us away like trash. That is not normal or healthy behavior. But if they choose to do it, they choose to do it. Please feel free to leave your comments and your questions. And if you'd like,
What else are you supposed to do with trash? What else are you supposed to do with trash but throw it away? She said nothing and told us everything. Said nothing, yet telling us everything. You're the reason why your daughter is estranged from you. No one else. Not her, not anyone else, not the internet, not a therapist, not channels like mine. It's you and your behavior. And she felt so strongly about this for so long, she was writing stuff down 10 years ago. The inability to accept accountability is unmatched. Entitled to everything, embarrassed by nothing. So I'm going to leave it there. Thank you to Clever Fish for the contribution. I really appreciate it. Thank you to everybody watching. Please leave any opinions in the comment section below. And again, if you want your story read on the channel, you have a topic you'd like me to cover, something you want to expose, you'd like to set up a Skype phone call, have a private video made, you'd like to sponsor a video like this for someone who needs help and can't afford it, or just make a contribution to the channel in general to keep it supported, growing, and successful, because this channel survives 100% on contributions from all of you. Without you guys, all this goes away. So if you like what you see here and you want to see more videos like this, you know what to do with either the Cash App, Zelle, PayPal, and email links in the description box below. Also, please like and share this video wherever you can. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and be sure to click the subscription bell to be notified of all my video uploads. Also, be sure to subscribe to both my channels on Rumble. If you haven't watched the video over there, please do. Even a click helps. Follow me on X and Telegram as well. I'm Ollie Matthews. This has been Societal Narcissism. Take care, everyone.